The exhibit here, Hosanna, Surrender into Joy, is going to be up from April 2nd until April 9th. I believe the show will have to come down before 5 p.m. on the 9th. I have to confirm exact. But it will be up here and available for everybody to see and for the public as long as the rec center hours are open. So I'm Naomi Kennedy, and this show is called Hosanna, Surrender into Joy. This series has been produced since December 20th of 2014. So it's been a very prolific time of transformation and shift in perspective that has been going on in the last little bit here. Hosanna, Surrender into Joy came about because I was looking at the composition of the square and thinking how that you can't not have a whole feeling from a square composition. And while looking at that and considering what the series was going to be about, which I was hoping to embody joy, but I've also been exploring Aramaic body prayers and just looking at languages that vibrate in our bodies in a different way. And I heard the words Hosanna, surrender, or no, Hosanna in the highest. And I was like, Hosanna in the highest. And then I heard Hosanna in the highest. And I was like, Susanna in her finest? And then I was like, Hosanna. And I was like, so then I asked around the room, and I was like, does anybody know anything, a song, Susanna in her finest, or Hosanna in the highest? And both my teacher and another artist in the room were like, well, Hosanna in the highest? And I was like, yep. And they're like, it's a praise to God. It's a popular hymn in churches. And I was like, oh. It's an interesting thing, as I was also considering doing a very much more spiritual focused with stronger iconography towards Christianity kind of series. So it was interesting that wording had popped up. And then when I looked into Hosanna and the song, these days it's more of a gratitude song, and it's a praise to God and the gratitude that we have to God. But originally it was more surrender. And it's that the way that I interpret it was that I was at your wit's end. You can't see anything, you don't know, nothing makes any more sense, and I surrender all to you. And I just have true and utter faith that it all will be perfect. So at the beginning of this series, life had tumultuous points, and I just decided to shift my perspective to that of joy and to try and focus on doing images that embodied moments of joy, whether it's the joy of surrendering and coming out as gay, and so surrendering to that moment and that joy of surrendering into your lover's arm and finally knowing that it's bittersweet because it's painful, but it's joyous. Or that moment where you look around and you know you have a reason and a calling and you're so joyous, but there's that intensity that has to be done and that reflection that needs to happen. So a lot of this entire series, nothing is labeled or titled because the entire embodiment of everything here is about Hosanna and surrendering into joy, and these different moments in my process where I've just had to bow down and say I give, and I just give myself into joy and release, and forward we go.
in England because I was going to be took a year off. So I was driving around here in my little sports car. And he said, right? Brand new. Yeah. And a little triangle. You should go up. I don't have a training that goes in before all was haunted. And he said, tell me the images I created. And I was like, oh,
yeah. You're back on the,
oh, you watched it?